The history of science is filled with brilliant minds, but few lives rise as high or fall as cruelly as that of Alan Turing. His story is one of genius and injustice, a modern tragedy in which the man who helped save civilization was destroyed by the society he protected. For decades, he lingered as a faint shadow behind the computer age, a ghost no one knew they owed everything to. Born in 1912, Turing was a shy, literal-minded child, socially awkward yet astonishingly gifted. Mathematics wasn't just a subject for him, it was a language. Abstraction was his refuge. His mind moved along lines most people never saw. In 1936, at just 24, he introduced the idea that changed the future, the Turing Machine. It was not a physical device, but a logical model that defined what it means for something to be computable. In one conceptual leap, he sketched the blueprint of every modern computer. Long before the first transistor switched on, Turing had already imagined the architecture of the digital world. When World War II erupted, this abstract thinker was drawn into the most practical crisis imaginable. At Bletchley Park, Britain's secret code-breaking center, Turing faced the Nazi Enigma machine. Its daily changing cipher settings produced millions of possible combinations. Many approached it as a linguistic puzzle. Turing attacked it as a problem of pure logic. He designed and helped build the bomb, an electromechanical device that automated the hunt through Enigma's vast permutations. The breakthrough allowed the Allies to track U-boats and safeguard the convoys that kept Britain alive. Historians estimate that his work shortened the war in Europe by 2 to 4 years, saving millions of lives. But bound by secrecy, he remained invisible. There were no public honors, no headlines. The country he saved never knew what he had done. Turing became a ghost hero, celebrated only by those sworn to silence. After the war, Turing returned to the future he had predicted. He designed early computers, explored the foundations of artificial intelligence, and proposed what we now call the Turing test. His imagination leaped decades ahead of his era. But the very society he had defended was about to turn on him. In 1952, after reporting a burglary, Turing casually admitted to police that he had a relationship with another man, something he regarded as an honest, irrelevant fact. Instead, it became the basis for a criminal charge. Homosexuality in Britain was illegal. Turing was charged with gross indecency and forced to choose between prison and chemical castration. To continue his work, he chose the hormone treatment. The injections altered his body, undermined his emotional stability, and left him physically and psychologically diminished. His security clearance was revoked. He was cut off from the cryptographic work he loved. The man whose logic had saved the nation was punished simply for being himself. The state that had needed his brilliance now criminalized his identity. 2 years later, on June 7, 1954, Turing was found dead in his home at the age of 41. Cyanide was discovered in his system. A half-eaten apple rested beside him. The inquest ruled suicide, but the truth remains ambiguous. Turing had been making plans, setting appointments, and conducting scientific experiments with cyanide in his house. Some believe the poisoning may have been accidental. Others think it was a deliberate symbolic act. The apple, never tested, deepened the mystery. As in life, so in death. Turing left behind a question that may never be fully solved. For decades after, he remained largely unknown. His wartime work was classified. His prosecution was sustained. No one wished to revisit. Meanwhile, the world he had envisioned came into being. Computers, algorithms, artificial intelligence, while the man who conceived it all faded into obscurity. Only in the 1980s and beyond did his legacy begin to re-emerge. As computing exploded globally, his early insights were recognized as foundational. As society confronted past injustices, his persecution became a symbol of institutional cruelty. In 2009, the British government apologized. In 2013, he received a royal pardon. In 2021, his face appeared on the 50-pound note, a belated recognition of a mind that had shaped the modern world. These gestures honor him, but they cannot undo the tragedy. Alan Turing's life reveals a devastating paradox. He decoded the most complex systems of his time, but he could not escape the simplest and most irrational one: human prejudice. He broke the code that saved Western civilization, yet society condemned him for the truth of who he was. Turing stands as one of modernity's great tragic heroes, a visionary who saw the future with clarity, but lived in a world too clouded to see him. And so the ghost in the machine was never a mystery of computation. It was the conscience of a world that realized far too late what it had lost. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.